Hello, Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to Double Click. I'm your host, Jamila Ghafoor. Double Click is a program where we bring you the latest and updated news in the world of technology. First, you will get to know about the top storylines of the gadget world. Then we will tell you about the top 5 apps of last week. And also we'll give you tips on how to make the best out of your phone. And stay tuned for the last segment of our program where we bring you Out of the Box, which is about some unusual inventions. So without any further delay, let's take a look at this week's program. You will get all the latest CES 2017 and CES 2017 highlights. We will give you a bumper guide to the most exciting initiative and impressive new games of the coming year. Wireless charging may become a reality. Android-powered Nokia 6 marks the brand's return to smartphones. The iPhone turns 10 and we will show you 10 ways to change the world. Top gadgets of different sectors will be presented for you. We'll put the spotlight on the most popular app and game of this week. In our Out of the Box segment, we will show you LG's roll-up TV, which it has been teasing for years. The technology world descended in Las Vegas on the 5th and 8th of January for the world's largest gadget fair to showcase the latest innovations and trends that will dominate the scenes in 2017. Here's a roundup of some of the most eye-catching exhibits. The Consumer Electronics Show, now officially simply termed as CES, turned 50 this year. And yet, rather than turn stale or start to fade away, the 2017 show brought some genuine innovation we haven't seen in quite a while. Sure, wacky gadgets and pointless protocols are all over the place at CES, but this might be the year that many of them actually become a reality. For instance, we didn't see many gimmicky curved televisions on the show floor. Instead, LG really wowed us with a new incredibly thin OLED TV that houses all of the processing power in a sleek connected soundbar. Faraday Future showed off an electric self-driving supercar that can park itself and should actually make it to the market next year. The PowerRay drone from Power Vision doesn't work in the air like you might expect it to, but underwater it can help you catch a fish. The Razer's Project Valerie, while just a concept, proves that when it comes to gaming laptops, 3 screens are better than 1. The Razer Project Valerie prototype is a laptop with not 1, not 2, but 3 displays. It can run Battlefield 1 at 12K resolution and perfectly smooth frame rates. There's no price or release date just yet, as this is far from becoming a real product. But if Razer finds enough demand for users, the company promises to build this crazy connection for real. Other top products are more about refinement than revolution. Lenovo's Smart Assistant speaker, its take on Amazon's Echo, looks and sounds better than the device it emulates. The Asus Zenfone AR smartphone brings augmented reality in the form of Google Tango to a reasonable form factor. And the Misfit Vapor looks and acts a lot like Apple Watch for nearly half the price. Every new year brings us the promise of astonishing video games. But what does 2017 have in store? Will this be a vintage year? From returning legends to innovative and new projects, there's an impressive amount of fascinating stuff on the way. And we've tried to cram in everything, including the big budget sequels, unexpected offshots and tiny independent projects. The latest project from Toronto-based studio, Capybara Games, is an overhead view adventure game where players explore a mysterious island riddled with caves. A roguelike structure and sharp, minimalist visions promises a haunting and demanding experience. We came to the jungle looking for the Church in the Darkness. A really fascinating stealth game where the player has to sneak into a remote town occupied by a religious cult in an attempt to rescue a relative. The environment is procedurally generated to the challenge at different times each time you play. Crackdown 3. Developed by Regent's Game, this open-wide city-based action romp is set to feature the most authentically destructible environments ever seen in the game, thanks to a cutting-edge cloud-based physics engine. Should be a blast. Cuphead. It feels like we've been waiting years for this beautiful side-scrolling shooter that takes its visual cues from 1930s American animation. Using hand-drawn characters, painted backgrounds, and a vintage jazz soundtrack, it's a remarkably faithful tribute to the era. Days Gone.
Someone asked me once.
Yes, it's another epileptic zombie game. But this time, rather than a straightforward narrative adventure, players get a vast open world to explore and survive in, crafting tools and developing strategies to deal with vast swarms of intelligent monsters. Destiny 2. Destiny 2 will presumably expand upon the formula found in the original game and new weapons, abilities and mechanisms. Bungie has a solid foundation to build upon, with fans constantly returning to the galaxy thanks to the satisfying combat and gunplay. Detroit Becomes Human. Detroit Becomes Human is set in advanced futuristic city of Detroit, where humans coexist with androids as they help humans as servants. Gamers will be able to play between two characters. The first is Kara, a newly made android who discovers what it's like to live with the humans. Kara has an artificial consciousness, struggles to find her place in the world, where androids like herself are made to obey and follow orders from humans. Over the past few years, wires have been cut from everything from internet connections to earphones, but still almost every device needs to be plugged in at least once a day to be charged. That may be about to change. The 4-year-old company, Energous, a CES regular, had something to show off its WhatsApp wireless system, which beams power to devices using radio frequencies, rather than magnetic induction used in the contactless charging of certain smartphones of the past few years. Magnetic inductions can't be used over large distances. Radio frequencies potentially can. Energous had 6 companies showing off devices with WhatsApp technology powering them. Energous claims that these devices will be able to seamlessly transition from being charged by small contact-based portable transmitters to forthcoming large transmitters that offer charging at a distance of up to 4.6 meters. How long before that switch to a power distance greater than a few centimeters takes is unknown. But one of the WhatsApp devices is capable of providing 700 mAh of power to any micro USB port, a level of power greater than minimum expected of traditional USB supplied power from a computer. While 700 mAh is certainly not enough to power something large, yet it should be easily capable of powering portable devices and burgeoning Internet of Things ecosystems instead of requiring a USB cable or replaceable battery. The Nokia brand is finally back in the smartphone game today as HMD Global, which holds the right to the name, announced the Android 7.0 Nugget-powered Nokia 6. The bad news is that it's a mid-range device from the Chinese market, so we'll have to wait a little longer to get a premium global device. The first Nokia-branded smartphone is to be released exclusively in China. The device will be marketed in partnership with the local internet retail giant JD.com. The team behind Nokia 6 phone said it believed the handset's premium design would appeal to the local market. The announcement coincided with the final day of the CES Tech Show in Las Vegas, where other new mobile phones and gadgets have been launched. Nokia no longer manufactures phones that carry its name but has instead licensed its brand to another Finnish company, HMD Global. Atypical for a mid-range device, the Nokia 6 comes with an aluminium unibody carved from a single solid block of 6000 series aluminium. It then undergoes 2 separate anodizing procedures to acquire a look far above its price tag suggests. On the camera side, the Nokia 6 offers a 16-megapixel main snapper with PDAF and reasonably bright f2.0 lens. On the front side, an 8-megapixel camera with the same aperture. The 64GB of storage makes sure you'll have enough room for all your photos, but unfortunately, the chipset limits the video recording to 1080p at 30 frames per second. The specifications are mid-range and so is the price, which is £200. That makes it slightly more expensive than Huawei's Honor 6 times, but cheaper than Xiaomi's Mi5S. On January the 9th, 2007, Steve Jobs introduced the world to iPhone. Introducing many derided it as a probable flop. The handset and the other smartphones that followed changed the world in a way that few gadgets have done before, and here's how. iPhone OS 1. The first version of the iPhone operating system was so limited it didn't even have an app store or any added third-party apps. The core OS provided the essential apps, such as iPhone dialer, messaging clients, notes, web browser, music player, clock, calculator, and a few more apps. Email was limited to IMAP and POP, so it was clear this first iPhone was clearly focused on the consumer and not the enterprise market. iPhone OS 2. The major features of the iPhone OS 2 was the introduction of the App Store with third-party applications. Businesses could create applications and begin to optimize the iPhone for work processes. There was no encryption, yet the operating system, so the iPhone still had ways to compete with BlackBerry. iPhone OS 3. The first attempt to encryption was provided with iPhone OS 3. Encryption features in this release included the ability to restrict and configure profiles encrypted backups. Another important aspect of iPhone OS 3 was the release of the first Apple iPad with iOS 3.2. The iPad has since proven to be an important tool for business over the years. iOS 4. Apple changed the name of its mobile operating system to iOS with versions 4.0 in June 2010. iOS 4 provided the ability for IT departments to manage iPhones wirelessly over the air, OTA. This convenience was an important step towards marketing the iPhone, a more attractive business option with a much easier way to manage the iPhone remotely and give better control to the iPhone. iOS 5. In 2011, we saw iOS 5 launch and finally no longer had to use iTunes to activate and manage the Apple iPhone. Apple has launched the volume purchasing program and a custom B2B program as a way to attract the enterprise. iOS 9. A couple new enterprise features in the iOS 9.3 updates include IT admin, control over the home screen, and the ability to blacklist apps. These tools give businesses more control over devices they issue so that the focus is on work and not play. iOS 10. iOS 10 is clearly focused on the enterprise market with further integration of business services into the OS. Now let's take a sneaky peek at today's top gadgets. Collie-Do DIY 3D printer. Get creative using the latest technology with the Collie-Do DIY 3D printer. Whether you want to make three-dimensional works of art or practical household items, such as handy pegs or soap dishes, you can be producing them in no time, thanks to this make-your-own 3D printer kit. This colourful printer is compatible with Windows 7, Mac OS, and Linux operating systems, and it's stunningly simple to use. Cardboard smartphone projector. For all those film fanatics who are sick of small screens, the cardboard smartphone projector is here to bring you a slice of home cinema magic. This fully functional projector makes it easy to enjoy the big screen experience. Simply place your smartphone inside this fantastic projector. Aim it at a suitable surface and marble it magnifies your movie. The internet boasts a wealth of hilarious viral videos, and pint-sized smartphone screens aren't doing them justice. Make sure you're getting the full cinematic experience with a stylish smartphone projector. Hubsan Q4 Nano Quadcopter. Small remote-controlled helicopters have become pretty commonplace in recent years, but this one is different. The Hubsan Q4 Nano Quadcopter weighs just 12 grams and is small enough to sit on the palm of your hands. Using the latest micro-radio control technology, it will fly for 4 to 5 minutes on just 30-minute charge from your PC or laptop's USB port. Crucially, because it has 4 blades for stability, it's easy to fly straight out of the box, so you won't have to spend hours learning to handle it. Sphero Ollie Drakeside. The Sphero Ollie Drakeside is a powerful smartphone-controlled robotic device that is devious, defiant, and even downright diabolical. With a 30-meter range, the Sphero Ollie is capable of performing a wide range of tricks and stunts, all under the control of a handheld smartphone device. The robot has a top speed of 14 mph or 6 meters per second, so it's fast enough to keep up with all manners of radio-controlled gadgets. Ideal if you want to race them around the course. For example, one big advantage of the Ollie Drakeside is that it can roll with a high degree of accuracy and its wheels can flip around almost instantly, meaning you can turn in even the most confined of spaces. Fitbit Charge HR. Allowing you to keep in control when exercising, the Fitbit Charge HR is a high-tech heart rate wristband and activity tracker rolled into one ultra-convenient unit. Employing the latest Pure Plus technology, the exercise and activity tracking wristband comes with a fully functioning heart rate monitor, so you'll never miss a heartbeat again, no matter how focused you are on an activity. Then we'll take a look at the top apps and games that were downloaded by our users the most. DJ Pro for iPhones. The popular and award-winning DJ Pro app for Mac and iPad is now available on the iPhone. It's the same fully featured app from the iPad, but built from the ground up for the iPhone. There is also an Apple Watch included with basic functionality built in. Angry Birds Blast. 7 years since their debut, the Angry Birds have taken part in almost every video game imaginable. Their main series may focus on physics-based demolition, but spin-offs have been seen tackling everything from RPGs to racing. Angry Birds Blast is a colour-matching game popularised by Candy Crush Sega, where you can match coloured balloons and free the trapped birds.
Angry Birds Blast.
The Walking Dead: A New Frontier.
Please, I tried.
The latest installments of the Telltale's The Walking Dead series features a new character named Javier trying to rescue his family. He is joined by Clementine, a recurring character from the previous game in the series, who is now older and much wiser. The game features the same point-and-click style of gameplay that Telltale is known for, along with decision-making that affects the outcome of the story. Hot Wheels Race Off. Hot Wheels Race Off is a racing game where you race Hot Wheel cars on the toy tracks. The gameplay is very similar to hill climb racing with similar controls and the same ludicrous physics, just that it's a bit more polished and better looking with a bigger development budget and Mattel's branding. Automate. Automate makes commonly used tasks easily available in apps so you can access them quickly while you are in the car instead of hunting around in different apps. It combines features such as maps, places, contacts, messaging, voice control, media control, and quick shortcuts and toggles. It still is not recommended to use your phone while driving, but if you must, then Automate at least makes it easier and much safer. One of the most amazing pieces of technology we've ever seen in this year's CES 2017 is a TV so thin you can roll up like a piece of paper and slip it in your handbag. Behold the LG's 18-inch Rollable OLED. LG Display is moving forward to bring the screen that can roll into a 3cm radius reality. The display is 18 inches and Full HD, 1200x810 pixels. Organic light emitting diodes, or OLED technology, allows this incredible flexibility. LED and LCD displays need a rigid back panel to provide light. The OLEDs are self-illuminating, that excludes the need of the rigid light source. Many see OLEDs are the future screens. The lack of need of the backlight means that the OLED screens can be significantly thinner than current displays, thus making them ideal for wearable technology, phones and tablets. Production of these displays is still more costly than the LED display. This is due to a low yield of functional displays. The LG claims that 80% of the produced OLED screens is functional, which is way lower than the LED screen. Higher waste obviously means higher consumer costs. The question this begs to differ is this technology is legitimate for TV screens production, or if it will stay with mobile products where the thickness is more of an advantage. It's hard to imagine a need for a TV screen to roll into a tube other than moving. Well viewers, that's all I've got time for today, and don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Twitter at IQRA Bangla. Please subscribe our IQRA Bangla YouTube channel to watch all your favourite programmes, and we'll see you again next week inshallah. Keep watching IQRA Bangla.